guys, 1 second. Let me get this on YouTube real quick, and then we can get started. All right, so looks like we're live on YouTube. Let me get this on Facebook real quick, just to get people from there on the call as well. We have one question from anonymous attendee. They're asking whether we should close your USD and CHF JPY. No, I'm going to be holding them. I generally hold all of my trades until they hit stop loss or profit target. So I'm going to be hanging on to them currently, and I think it should be fine. I mean, it's not too far in the negative right now. It's just it's like an about entry. So I'm not sure why would you want to close it, because it's literally just it's literally an entry right now. Oh no, this is NZD. So even for CJ, it's literally an entry right now, and it's at a resistance. So I don't expect it to shoot up very high. I expect it to reject off this resistance and head down from here. So CHF JPY looks perfectly fine to me. Same with your USD. It's in the same situation. It just retraced a little bit, but it's rejecting off the resistance. So it's going to come back down and reach our TP down here. So I wouldn't worry about those too much. Obviously price is moving really slow. It hasn't even moved that much from the entry. So I would just hang on tight. But I'm going to be holding on to mine until we until we reach profit target. Let me just get this on YouTube, on Facebook real quick, and then we can get started. So, all right, so I got that on Facebook, on YouTube. So it looks like we're good to go, guys. So if you guys have any other questions, feel free to put them in the Q&A, and then I'll get to the questions. If you put them in the chat, I'm probably not going to see them because I'm more focused on the Q&A, but I do see your question right there, Vasil. I'm going to answer that right now. So Vasil's asking if I use a trend meter. So for this specific strategy, I'm using the K2 zone trading strategy. For this strategy, we don't use the trend meter because we're trading on a higher time frame. So the trend is kind of relevant because when you're looking at the higher time frame, we use the K2 indicator. And as you can see here, just looking at the K2 indicator, price moves from zone to zone. So regardless as to whether, price is trending downwards or it's neutral, generally price just bounces from zone to zone. And that's why we don't really need the trend meter when using this strategy. But if I'm trading the 30-minute intraday strategy, then I would be using the trend meter since we're trading on a smaller time frame. But for this specific strategy, it's not required. So I don't use it, for just this specific strategy in particular. Let's see. So we have a couple questions here. So hope to answer your questions, Vasil. And let's see. Let's keep going down the questions. So I just want to make sure. Can you guys hear me? Can anyone just type in the chat if you guys can hear me? I want to make sure you guys can actually hear me speaking because I can't hear it. Okay, perfect. I don't hear Aaron. Aaron, are you here?
Yeah.
All right, perfect. Thanks, guys. I think it's just Aaron. We just can't. Well, I can't hear Aaron. I'm not sure if it's just me. What?
Shawn, stop lying.
He said he could hear Aaron. All right, cool. So let's get started, guys. All right, so first, I'm going to go with the first question. The first question is from Paco. Paco's asking to analyze Nzd USD. So we're still in that trade. I'm not sure if you're in that same trade with us, Paco. But we have a current active trade with Nzd USD right now. So I've already drawn the nearby zones on the chart. So I'm just going to hide the SR so it'll be a little easier to look at. So just looking at it right here, price has just been ranging within the zone right here. So you can see, price came down, rejected off this zone, shot up here, rejected off this zone, came back down, and it's probably going to test this zone again before either possibly breaking below or continuing to trend again. I mean, not trend, to range within the zone. Hopefully it drops below, but there's no real catalyst, really pushing price right now. I don't think there's any news today. Let me just check the calendar real quick. Okay. see. So yeah, looking at the calendar, doesn't seem like there's. So there's AUD news at 6:30. That might affect it a little bit. I mean, it might affect it a lot. It really just depends on how the news is. So let's see. The previous was negative 17%. There's no forecast, but it looks like it doesn't really change very much. It's like pretty much on the same point. So I don't think it's really going to affect it too much. But yeah, just looking at Nzd USD, it's literally just ranging between these two zones right here. We do have a sell, so I'm anticipating it to drop. Also looking at the trend meter down here, it was red for the intraday at 6 a.m. today. So there is some sort of sell bias, and if you want to manually draw a trend line, you can see that it's in a downward trend. So personally, I think it's going to come down. I mean, it looks like it's rejecting off this trend line perfectly. So let's see if I draw an arrow from where the trend line is. It looks like it rejected off here and it's coming down now. So it might come down sharply or it might come down slowly, but overall it's in a downtrend. So I think if you're in the sell position, you should be perfectly fine. I just shared this with the public group recently too, I think. So if you guys need the parameters were sent to both the premium and the public. So if you look at the public chat, I did share this trade with you guys, so everyone has access to this trade right now if you guys want to join in on this. But yeah, okay, so let me keep going down the questions. Let's see who else is here. So let's see. Thanks, Matt. Saw your message. Hey, John, how's it going, man? I wonder if you took that US 30 today. I didn't get that message from you this morning, but it looks like it's doing pretty good. Our US 30 is about to hit full TP for about 2,000 pips. But if you took it this morning, you would have hit TP1 obviously for 1,000 pips earlier. It started to look a little ugly here, but it came back up, as it usually does. So let's see, one more question here. Eric, Alexis is asking, are we going to be placing any trades? Yeah, so the candle closes in about an hour. So in less than an hour, I'm going to start scanning the charts for signals for the next 4-hour candle. But that'll be about 30 minutes from now. So I'm just going to go over questions at the moment. But once we get closer to that 6-hour close, 6 p.m. close, then I'm gonna start looking for trades. Okay, so let's see. I'm gonna keep going down the Q&A. If you guys have any questions, just a reminder, put them in the Q&A, and then I can go over whatever you want me to analyze, or if you guys want me to cover any strategies, or pretty much anything, whatever you guys have questions about. Feel free to just drop them in the Q&A, and then I can get to them as we continue to move down further. So let's see. We have one question from Garen. Garen said, how do you decide whether to take profit target 1 or full TP? So I never anticipate taking profit target 1. The only time I do take profit target 1 is when I move my stop loss there. So the way that I exit my trades is generally when price reaches TP1, then I'll move my stop loss. So like say this is my my stop loss up here, correct? So my stop loss is originally up here. Once I reach TP1 down here, I'll move my stop loss to that point. So then at that point, I'm guaranteeing myself TP1 or, full TP. So in that situation, as price continues to move down, I've already guaranteed X amount of profit right here. But if I want to go for full TP, I give myself that opportunity to go for the full move. I never put my target right there because, why would you cut yourself short if, odds are, price is probably going to hit full TP. So that's just my basic explanation. I know there's other exit strategies that are explained in the course. I don't really use those anymore. Those were meant for, the shorter time frames because we traded when price was a little volatile and it was bouncing around a lot. So in that situation, during COVID, we would always move our stop loss as price moved. So as price reached a certain area down here, we'd move our stop loss to, break even. So if it came up like it did right here, we would just exit. But now that I'm trading on the 4-hour chart, we have a bigger range. So previously, we had like a very small range. It was probably like 30 pips per trade, if you're trading on the 30-minute chart. but now we have a range of 135 pips. So this gives us a little more cushion where we can just let the trade breathe. And I recommend to just move your stop loss to TP1 once it reaches that point. And it shouldn't be a problem if you're using proper risk management. If you're not taking like a huge position size that might margin call you out. Because I've noticed that that's been a big issue for a lot of people in the group. A lot of people over leverage because they see that almost all of our trades hit TP. But that's not a way to become a long-term successful trader, because you're literally taking a risk on blowing half your account every time you take a trade like that. Because if you're over leveraging and you're going higher than 5%, if you're going up to 10%, you could lose a lot of money within a short period of time. And if you don't have enough margin, you might get stopped out at some point. But yeah, pretty much I never really aim for target 1. I just move my stop loss there, and if it triggers it, then I hit TP1. If it goes to the full TP, then even better. So I'll just delete this, and then let's keep moving down to the next questions. All right, so Vasil is asking K2 support resistance V1 or V2. So I'm not sure if you're familiar with the V1 or V2 indicator, Vasil, but so V1, it just gives you the support and resistance for that specific price area. So if I rewind it here, you can see that the support and resistance, I'll just take this off the chart. You can see it only gives you one level. You can use this if you just want to see where one level is, but generally I always recommend to use V2. This is the updated version. So instead of just seeing one level of support and resistance, you're going to see all of them that are nearby. So you can see right here, you can see exactly where price is rejected from. Price is rejected from here, it came up, came down, rejected from here, it came up. And you can see it's really easy for you to map out where price is going to be rejecting from, because you can see exactly where price is rejected from in the past. So you can see right here, price came up, came down, came up, came down right here, tested this support, came up, rejected off this resistance, came down, rejected off the support, and then it pretty much just keeps testing the those specific price points. And as price moves along, you can see that price respects these price points more often than not, and you can know exactly where price is going to be rejecting from. But yeah, this is if you guys have access to the K2SR indicators, or all the indicators in general. You can still use the V1. The only problem with the V1 is that it's not as it's accurate, but it's only going to give you one support resistance. So instead of seeing all of these points where price is rejected from, let me take that off. You're only going to see one of them. So you can see right here, you can see this is the strong resistance on the 4-hour, and then the strong support on the 4-hour. But this doesn't really help you very much, if price is right here in the middle, because you're not going to know where price is going to be rejecting from. So I recommend you use the V2. I know it's a little hard to use if you're not familiar with it, because there's so many lines on the chart. So basically what I do is, so if I see the chart like this, generally what I'll do is I'll just draw my own zones where those zones have established. So you can see right here, there's one zone up here, and then there's one zone right here. So obviously you can connect those two. So you just draw a rectangle right there. Similar with down here. If there's no other zone, this zone's actually a big zone. So if you want to cover this whole zone right here, you could do that too. But if you don't, you can just cover the wick of that specific candle. There's a lot of ways to apply this. I'll probably make a new video explaining how I draw my rectangles over the SR if you don't want to keep the SR on the chart. But this is just a simple way of doing it. So pretty much, you could draw your own zones on the chart, and then instead of having these messy lines on the chart, you could just close that, and then there goes your zones. You see exactly where price rejects from. You can see price came down, rejected, came up, rejected, came down, kind of consolidated a little bit within the zone. Then it broke, came down, rejected, came up, rejected, so on. And it's as easy as that. So let's see. See if I have another question here. All right, cool. So Vasil wants me to check out UJ. Let me pull up UJ real quick. Just make sure I didn't mess up this. Oh, crap. Did I mess up the chart? I did. Hold up. Sorry, I took off the PL. That's fine. I'm just gonna delete this and then I'll draw it up again. So let me just close this stuff real quick, and then let me just grab the because I want to know where where price is obviously as we reach certain price points. So let me go over here real quick. Just look up. Oh, no wonder. Say something. Oh, he's muted. Never mind. I know why I couldn't hear him because my earphones are plugged in. Sorry, guys. Okay, let me pull up NZD real quick. So we have a sell stop for NZD USD.
You can hear me now?
Oh yeah, I can hear you perfectly, bro.
Damn.
Man, that was tripping me out for the longest. So I could see you talking on the screen, but I didn't see I couldn't see what you were saying. But yeah, I could hear you now. So let me go back to 11. So we took this trade on. Oh, actually, no, it's still on the chart. I just deleted it. All right, guys. So let me put this on real quick. So June 11. I mean, yeah, June 11. 11. I think it was probably somewhere over here. I'll just copy this. TP is going to be 135. So it looks like the entry was somewhere over here. All right, it's all set up. All looks good. Yeah, it's actually dropping in profit pretty nicely. So let me kind of lock this so I don't delete it again. All right, so let me go to UJ real quick. If you still wants to check out UJ. Looks like these zones are really close. Let me I'm gonna redraw these zones. Oh, that's why. So it looks like UJ is stuck inside a zone right now, actually. All right, let me close this. All right, Vasil, so I'm looking at UJ right now. It looks like we definitely have a sell bias right now. You can see down from the trend meter, the overall trend is bearish. Also, if you drew your manual trends on the chart, you can see that it's clearly in a very steep downtrend. The only problem is that it's stuck inside a zone right now. So you can see right here, price is just consolidating within the zone. So price rejected off this bottom, it rejected off this top. So pretty much, I mean, I wouldn't take this trade until price broke below the zones. Even if it broke below this zone right here, I still wouldn't take it, because the thing is, even if it breaks down below here, this same thing could happen right here, and it could establish a double bottom. If say it comes down right here, and then it rejects off the zone like it did right here, that'd be a double bottom. So odds are it might shoot right back up, or I mean, it could just shoot right back down. So the thing is with this, there's a lot of uncertainty. Like, you don't want to take trades where you're not 100% certain, the direction of price. Although we have a bias here because we have a sell signal, and then obviously the trend meter is red, so it's giving you the overall trend downwards. The only problem with this is that it looks like this move would have completed if, let me see real quick. So it would have almost completed. If we took this entry right here for 65 pips, it looks like it dropped down nearly to full TP. So if we look at that, about 55 pips. But yeah, the only problem with this is that it's stuck within this little consolidation zone right here. So this can literally go sideways and just bounce around up and down until it breaks either up or it breaks below. But as you can see right here, you know, it's a small cushion. There's a small cushion right here, and there's a small cushion right here. So the thing is, even if it breaks above, it could still reject off this stronger zone right here. Same with the bottom down here. If price broke below here, like I said earlier, it looks like this would establish a double bottom right here. Siobhan said, can't hear me. Aaron, can you hear me? Just want to make sure. Siobhan said,
Yeah.
okay. I think it just might be Siobhan's computer. Siobhan, try turning on your volume. It might be that. That was my problem earlier. I had my earphones plugged in. But yeah, going back to UJ, literally, it could go either way at this point. You know, even though we have a sell bias right here, the thing is, price has been moving weird this entire week. So the problem with that is, you know, it's either going to correct back upwards or it's going to shoot downwards. You know, the weird thing about this is that the US dollar was strong and the JPY was strong too. So, you know, that kind of clashes because, you know, they're both paired against each other. So in that situation, that's why price has been, you know, right here, it's just been consolidating this whole time. And then same with right here, you know, there hasn't been a direction that's been established yet. So it's just been consolidating, you know, on both ends. So until, you know, until there's been something that has established the direction, whether, you know, it's the US dollar that's stronger than the JPY, or if the JPY is stronger than the US dollar, you know, it's probably going to keep consolidating until some type of news comes out or something, or some sort of catalyst that pushes price in a certain direction. So if you're looking at UJ, I personally would just keep away from it right now. And, you know, maybe look at it a little later, but currently it just doesn't look like there's a, it's not really worth taking right now, especially with how the market's moving. But yeah, there goes UJ. Let's see if there's any other questions here. Siobhan said he still can't hear. Can anyone else confirm whether they can hear me? I just want to make sure it's not just, you know, it's just not me. Because I know Aaron could hear me. I'm not sure if anyone else can. Okay, cool. Yeah, so everyone else can hear Siobhan. I think it just might be your computer. So maybe turn up your volume or see if you have any headphones plugged in. David said Australia is under a cyber attack. Let's see what he's talking about. Australia cyber attack. Where'd you see that, Dave? David? Here, I just Googled it. Oh man, okay, I see it right now. Here we go. We got Australia, massive cyber attack on Australian government. That's interesting. I wonder why they chose to hit AUD. So let's see. We have AUD pairs running right now. So let's check to make sure. Or no, we don't actually. Or actually we do. Well, it looks like everything shot pretty nicely in profit, guys. So if you guys are in, you know, all the trades that I shared earlier, you know, profits are looking real nice right now. But we do have some Aussie trades open. So we have Odd USD. I mean, it doesn't look like it was really affected, but if that cyber attack does affect the Aussie dollar, then the US dollar is going to gain in strength. So that'll be perfect for us because obviously we want this to drop heavy. So we hit TP. It might hurt for Euro Odd though, because, you know, obviously we're trying to sell it. So in order for us to win this trade, you know, the Australian dollar is going to have to be in strength. Let's see what else. I think that's it. Yeah, so we only have those two trades with the Australian dollar, but it doesn't look like the news is really really affecting it at all. So let's see. Yeah, so this happened about an hour ago. So you know, we would have anticipated something to happen if it was affecting the market, but it doesn't look like it is, thankfully, because I hate manipulation. Yeah, let me go back to the questions real quick. Yeah, positions are looking real nice if you guys, you know, took all the positions I shared today. So let's see. Next up, we have Lester. Lester's asking, K2 indicators is $50 to new users. Yeah, Lester. So if you, I think I messaged you earlier today with a specific link. If you go to our website, k2trades.com, you just scroll down to the bottom. And then when you go to the bottom, we have the trial access here for 50 bucks. So for 50 bucks, you get the full package. You get access to the K2 strategies. You get access to the K2 indicators, pretty much the K2 premium groups, and pretty much all updates that come out, following your start. Also, once you get into the course, this is what the course looks like. So as you get here, we have a getting started area right here. And then this pretty much has, all the basics, how to get into all the K2 groups, how to get a free TradingView trial if you don't have TradingView, how to get access to the indicators, my watch list right here. This is something I go over every time we have a webinar, because a lot of people ask me, which pairs do I trade? So if you have access to, this is available to the free intro course too. So you just click on K2 watch list, and then it has a downloadable form right here. So if you download this, you can go to TradingView, and then you just go to watch list. You go to import list, and then you can choose the file from your computer. And then if you just want to copy them one by one, you can just I have the picture right here of all of my pairs that I follow. Also on top of that, we have let's go back real quick. So on top of that, we have the intro to Forex for new traders. So if you have no idea, what Forex is, or you don't know what terms mean, you can look here, and it has everything pretty much explained here. Also, all the TradingView functions, how to draw trend lines, how I draw trend lines, same with support and resistance, pretty much how to set up your chart to look exactly how mine does. And then we get to all the strategies here. So we have, the K2 Trades official intraday strategy right here, the momentum pullback strategy, K2 scalping strategies, and then the K2 SR zone trading strategy. This is pretty much the strategy I've been using for all the signals lately, I think for the past 3 months. So if you guys want, a very high probability, high win rate strategy, this is the one for you. And I only trade this on the 4-hour time frame. So you really only need to look at the charts like 5 or 6 times a day, which is, it's not bad at all. You can do this, while you're working a full-time job, you'll be fine. And then pretty much down here also, we have all the webinars from me and from Anes, and then, weekly chart analysis, and then this right here too. So a lot of people were asking if we post losses. Obviously everybody loses. So if you click on this right here, it has all of our trades right here, wins and losses. This is for the month. Each week is broken down as well. We do have red weeks. It's not very bad because, our win rate's pretty high. But yeah, I break down every single trade right here too. So every trade's broken down every single day, wins and losses. So whoever keeps asking if we post losses, I mean, it's right here. You can see this yourself. I have them broken down. If you want to back test every trade that I've shared, they're all broken down here. We have a whole red day right here. Like it happens. You can't really avoid days like that. It's impossible to win 100% of the time. I'm just being 100% transparent with you guys, and it has all the results. So April, March, February, January. I'm going to be uploading June pretty soon, March and June. So, or we're still in June. So April's going to, May's going to be up soon, and then June will be up probably the next couple weeks once we're done with the month. But yeah, guys, that's pretty much the K2 course. Basic crash course of everything. But if you guys have any specific questions, I can go over this with you. So let's see. So yeah, Lester, it's a $50 trial for pretty much everything if you're brand new. I gave you the specific link to sign up, but if you need the link again, you can just go on the website, and you can just sign up right on there if that's easier for you. Let's see. Bree's asking, when's a good time to enter a trade? There's no specific good or bad time. You can literally enter whenever you want. I generally trade off the 4 hours, so I trade all day. I trade from 2 a.m., 6 a.m., 10 a.m., 3 p.m. because spread's at 2, so I'm not trading at 2 p.m. Again at 6 p.m. and then 10 p.m. So that's about 5 or 6 times a day, but I literally trade around the clock. So there's no specific time. Obviously, it's going to be better trading during the U.S. market and London market because there's more volatility during those times, but there's no specific time where you have to trade where it'll be good. Like you can be profitable trading in literally any session. It just depends on what strategy you're applying as well. So if you're scalping, obviously you're not going to be able to scalp during Asia like it is right now, because the market's moving too slow. It's literally like a snail right now. So if you see how much this candle's moved for the past 4 hours, it's only moved about 20 pips. You can't scalp that. But yeah, I think that's about it for that question. Let me keep going down. All right, cool. So it looks like Reggie wants us to take a look at NAS. So let's go to NASDAQ 100. So I'm going to be analyzing this on the 4 hour. I can check other ones too, but I'll just analyze this on the 4 hour. It'll be easier for you guys to see, how we're projecting movements and stuff like that. If you guys have been following, indices news, or not just indices news, but stock news, you would have known that the NASDAQ has been moving up heavily since, it's literally been shooting up since, since March 23. So it's been a super strong uptrend, even though COVID happened. NASDAQ is filled with mostly tech stocks. So, obviously all the tech stocks are still going up because people are using tech, during COVID, like stocks like Zoom, like what we're using right now. Zoom's been doing crazy like this entire COVID time. And it looks like it's still pushing up. So let me just analyze it real quick. I'm going to go and draw the zones with the K²SR indicator. So again, what I mentioned before, I just use the K²SR indicator, and then it'll plot all the strongest support resistance areas on the chart. So let me just draw a zone right here. Red. And then a zone right here. These are like pretty much the two main zones on the chart. Obviously there's zones down here, but I'm not going to draw those because price is way up here. There's really no point for me to draw the lower zones because we're not anticipating price to drop that low. The only time I draw a different zone is if there's a higher zone up here. But just looking at NASDAQ right now, it looks like it rejected off this support right here. It came up. It might keep pushing up actually. So this was an invalid sell signal. The reason it's invalid is because it's a sell signal, but it's with a bullish candle. So in order for it to be valid, it would have to have a bearish candle. So as you can see right here, we have an invalid signal right here. It's a sell signal similar to what happened right here. And you can see it was just a retracement. Price ended up going upwards. Similar with right here, it's an invalid signal. So what might happen here is it might keep pushing on upwards, and then it'll be followed with a green candle as well. And the difference between an invalid and valid signal is when it's valid, it would be a buy signal with a green bullish candle. So right here we have a buy signal with a green bullish candle, and you can see price shot up from this point up to here for about 2,700 pips. Or if you're counting, standard lot sizes, it would be 227 pips. But generally, most brokers count them by micro pips because most traders can't trade, the real asset because it's so expensive to trade. They have to trade the E-minis. Again, right here, we have a valid sell signal right here, and it's valid because it's a sell signal with a red bearish candle. And as you can see right here, same situation. Price, if you took this trade right here and you had this valid buy, you could have caught, 2,700 pips. Again, right here, price shot down here, you could have caught about 5,500 pips. Again, right here, a valid signal. Another 2,500 pips. It's as easy as that. Similar with right here, if we get a buy signal, I probably wouldn't take it until it breaks this zone right here. And the reason for that is because this is a strong resistance zone. So the thing is, if price comes up and reaches this zone, it can do exactly what happened right here. If we get a strong wick right here, price could reject and then shoot back down and then range within this zone until it breaks either above or below these two K²SR zones. But I do see it pushing up. It looks like it's going to keep going on up to test the zone up here because it hasn't tested it yet. But if it does test it and it rejects like it did right here, then that'd be a double top. And then with a double top, it's probably going to come down pretty heavy. So if you're thinking about buying, I would wait for price to break above this zone right here. And then once it does, then you can confirm a a strong bullish move, following that break right there. So personally, I would just wait, give it some time, and then once you guys figure out whether price either breaks above or breaks below here, then that would give you the catalyst as to the direction of price. Or if price comes up here and rejects off this zone right here, then you can confirm that price is going to be shooting down. So that's when you can take a sell. But until then, I would just sit tight and wait for something to give some type of confirmation of the direction of price, because right here we have an invalid signal. So I wouldn't take anything right now until there's another buy signal that shoots above, or a sell signal that confirms a drop coming. But yeah, that's about it for NASDAQ right now. Let me see if there's anything else we have. All right, so we have another question from Lester. Lester's said, yes, I'm currently at 28% watching your course, trying to finish later to subscribe. Yeah, Lester, you should just take your time to watch the videos. So once you're done, all you really need is the indicator. So once you have the indicators, you can pretty much just start trading since you've watched the videos already, which would be perfect. Let's see, Jeremy said, what the fuck? US30 is so close to TP2 and went straight down. Yeah, I mean, that's exactly what happened. It's like this is why I don't really, I don't like trading US30 in after hours, because during after hours, like, it just moves weird. It doesn't move in one direction. So you can see right here, generally right here, price is like moving one direction, because this is when London opens. So London opened right here, and then it shot up, and then again right here, it shot down. The thing when you're trading after hours, so the New York Stock Exchange closed about like 3 hours ago. So about 3 or 4 hours ago, you can see like once it closed, so it closed somewhere around here, and then price just starts going all over the place, and it just makes it really risky. That's why I only trade during the New York Stock Exchange. You can see, there's no clear direction of price. You can see price came up, and it came down, came up, came down, and it literally is just zigzagging and ranging across here. And it pretty much, I mean, there's a lot that can happen, because during this time and after hours, the institution big banks aren't really trading during this time, because they're trading their own specific indice. Generally during this time, there's a lot of retail traders that don't really know what they're doing, so they're just kind of prices going all over the place. We have other indices here too, so that's just US30, but since we're in Asia right now, a lot of people are trading the JPY. But it looks like all of the indices have, I'm not sure what happened. Aaron, do you see anything in the news?
I didn't see nothing, bro.
Yeah, it looks like all of them.
Random drop, probably.
Yeah, something must have happened. Well, the France is doing fine. They didn't even move at all. Spain, they're doing all right. The Aussie one dropped a lot. This might have been because of the news that David mentioned earlier. He said that the Australian government got hacked or something, or they're having some type of cyber attack. So that might have affected the indices market. But personally, I don't like to trade in after hours, because random stuff like this could happen. But if you guys are still in that trade, I think it'll still come up. But I mean, personally, I'd probably just exit right now if you're still in that trade, and if you didn't make any profit off it yet. A lot of us got out at TP1. So once it reached TP1 somewhere around here, we moved our stop loss to a TP1, and then as it pulled back, pretty much everyone got out. But it still looks like it's coming up. You can see right here it's rejecting off this point. Let me just draw some zones. So these zones are on the frame. There's a lot of noise on the short time frame, so I like to go on the higher time frame. And then 30 minutes still too short. And then I draw the zones on there. Okay, so right here, it's perfect. On the 4 hour, you can see the zones way down here. And it looks like price rejected off it. We don't have a buy signal yet, but I think once we get a buy signal, you can anticipate it to shoot on upward. So right now, obviously US30 has been moving weird today, kind of. So let me take off the SRs. So if I take this off, you can see that there's huge wicks and not much body on these candles. So this thing right here, I mean, I don't think it's going to drop down that far. I think it's going to be CT set example, S&P 500 on the 2-hour. Yeah, so I'll take a look at that. But yeah, I mean, I'm shocked it dropped that much, Jeremy. Like I wasn't expecting it to drop literally this much. This is it's a pretty big drop from where it was. Let's see. Yeah, it's like 1,500 pips. I don't know, honestly. A lot of weird things happen during after hours. But let me pull up Matthew pulled out at 26,200. Oh, nice. Oh, it's good stuff, Matt. So yeah, so Matt pulled out right there. It looks like he locked in about how many pips? It's a little over 1,500 pips. That's not bad at all. It's actually really good. But yeah, if you guys are taking my US 30 calls, especially if it's running into after hours, you guys have to remember to move your stop loss at least in profit at some point. Especially if it's pushed up this far. If it pushed up 1,700 pips, you should at least move your stop loss to 1,500 or somewhere around here 1,750. I mean 750, so like somewhere around this area. You should at least move your stop loss to prevent this from happening, because this is the worst feeling if you're in profit that much and you didn't move your stop loss in profit, and then now you're getting close to break even. You kind of just threw away a lot of money. You left money on the table when you could have at least locked in some of it. But I mean, you live and you learn. Not everyone's gonna catch it. I mean, honestly, if I was in your position, Jeremy, I probably would have just held it too, because I would have thought it would shoot up 300 pips. It's not that big of a move. But whatever happens in the news happens, and it causes the price to move. We have one question from Bree. Bree's asking, do you have videos on how to chart in TradingView? So yeah, Bree, I'm not sure if you're in the K2 course. Let me so we have a free course too. I'm not sure if you're familiar with the free course. Let me go to the free course real quick. And we have the intro course as well, which it's pretty much the paid course, but without the indicators. So you can still see what everyone's learning for free. You don't have to pay anything. And then you can pretty much see everything. So let me grab this real quick. All right, Bree, so if you want to see how to use TradingView, how to use all the functions and how to chart and stuff on there, it's all explained here. So this is the K2 Trading Academy intro. You don't have to pay for this. This is completely free. I mean, obviously, if you have access to the strategy, you're going to have more access to the indicators in every single video. But on the free course, there's videos here too. So there's a video right here where it says TradingView tools and functions, and I explain pretty much every single tool, or every single tool that's important that I actually use on TradingView. So I go down this list and I explain everything. I explain all these right here, and I explain everything down here, pretty much the whole whole platform. And then I explain the functions as well. If you want to learn how to chart, I have videos here explaining how to draw trend lines. I explain how to draw trend lines normally, using indicators, or using the same analysis that I do. So the way that I determine where the trend is I just use the K2 trend meter down here, and the trend meter will pretty much tell me exactly where to look for. Because well, this is a 10-minute chart. So if I go on the higher time frame, you can see right here when the trend meter turns green, this indicates that price is trending upward. So you can see right here it turned green and then price shot up. Again, right here it turned green, price shot up. Let me zoom in a little more. So instead of drawing your trend lines on the chart, like doing it the old-fashioned way like this, you can just look down at the trend meter and it's green down here. So as it's green, you can see price shoots up. Again, right here it's green, price shot up, and so on. Same with the other direction. If it's red down here, price is trending downwards. Instead of drawing your trend lines, you just look down at the trend meter. Obviously, price is trending downwards. Similar with right here, it's trending down, trending down, trending down. And that's pretty much the easy way to determine the trend. On top of that, I explained how to draw support and resistance on the chart if you're using TradingView, and I explained the way to do it by hand, the way by using indicators, and similarly using the K2SR indicator. So if you have the K2SR indicator, it pretty much does everything for you. So I have the indicator on right now, and you can see right here it perfectly plots where price rejects from. And if you have this, this is a huge tool for you to use. So you can see exactly where price trajects from every time it moves throughout the chart. I don't know if there's anything else here. Yeah, I think that's about it for the most part. I mean, everything is explained here on the free intro course. So if you're not in the free intro course, the way to sign up to this is you go on our website, k2trades.com. Shalene, yeah, just go to our website, k2trades.com right here. And then once you go to our website, just click unlock your free access to K2 now. And then as you click on that, you can enroll in the free course right here. And then that's pretty much how you can, watch all these videos explaining pretty much how to do everything. And, that's about it. All right, guys, let me go back to the questions real quick. Ari's asking, what do the green and red waves mean? Which waves are you talking about, Ari? Are you talking about, trying to get an idea. Are you talking about this down here? This is the trend meter down here. So you can see right here, it says K2 trend meter. This gives the overall trend. So it tells you, what the trend is. If it's trending down, it's turning red. If the trend is indecisive or it's moving sideways, you can see here price is moving sideways, it turns blue. And then, it's red because it's coming down. It's blue because it's going sideways, red because it's coming down, so on, and it turns green when it's going up. So it's green right here, price is going upwards. It's green right here, price going upwards. It's blue right here, price going sideways. And then it just makes things a whole lot easier. I'm trying to figure out what you mean by, no, not those. They have a Japanese kind of name. Oh, you're talking about the hiking ashi candles. Are you talking about this? She's talking about, okay, you're talking about the Ichimoku cloud then. Yeah, I was like,
Yeah, it has to be the cloud.
because you said a wave, so I was trying to figure out it's a cloud, not. So I was confused. Let me just plot that on the chart. Yeah, the cloud. Okay, there we go. So let me take these off. Yeah, so if you watch the videos, so also on the course, so if you watch the trend video here, the cloud is one of the ways that you can identify the trend as well. So if you look at how to draw trend lines, see if I can just mute this. So if you watch the video here, I explain pretty much, actually I don't have it here, but I'll just explain it to you. It's in one of the other videos. It's I mean, if you guys know the strategy, you guys know what I'm talking about, because I explained the strategy there. But if you're looking at the Ichimoku clouds, pretty much price is above the cloud, price is trending upwards. So you can see right here, price broke above the cloud, it's trending upwards. If price breaks below the cloud, it's trending downwards. But this is a very basic way to analyze it. I mean, you can see here, it's not a very strong trend because it broke above, and then obviously it trended up from here, and then it broke below, but it was like temporary. So it's a good way to get a bird's eye view of the trend if you're just looking for a basic layout of how the trend is looking. Because obviously if you, let me just take the indicators off. So pretty much this indicator right here is called Ichimoku, and it's just the cloud. Normally it comes with all these extras, which you can use these to, this is a strategy that I used a long time ago. This is a very easy strategy to learn. But obviously we moved on to the K2 strategy, which does incorporate the cloud. So if you guys are familiar with the, if you guys aren't familiar with the trend meter, what the trend meter is basically Ichimoku clouds on 4 different time frames. So I was saying earlier that this is a very basic way to look at the trend, because the thing is it only shows you the trend on 1 time frame. So this shows you the trend on the 4-hour. The thing with the trend meter is that it gives you 4 different time frames. So you can see exactly where price is trending for the day. So right here I have it set to 30-minute, 1 hour, 2 hour, 4 hour. This is pretty much the intraday settings, because I want to know where the trend's moving 30 minutes from now, 1 hour from now, 2 hours from now, and 4 hours and on. So that way I can only take trades that are moving in that direction.
the thing with the Ichimoku cloud is it only shows you the trend on the 4-hour. So the problem with that is you can see right here that it's red, obviously because it's trending downwards on 4 different time frames. But right here you can see it's blue, but you wouldn't know that if you're just looking at the cloud, because the thing is it's moving both directions right here, but you wouldn't know that price is moving both directions because you wouldn't have the trend meter down here. So if you just look at it like that, you'll get confused because you think price is trending downwards, but you wouldn't be for sure. So say if you entered a trade right here and you entered a sell because you thought it was coming back down. So if I rewind this to this point right here, obviously if you're looking at this from a bird's eye view, a normal person would think that this is coming down, obviously, right? Because if you draw trend lines, it's like, how could it go up? It's not going to go up. But what happens? It goes up. And then if your stop loss is up here, you get stopped out. But the thing is, if you have the trend meter down at the bottom, you can see it's blue. So you wouldn't have taken a trade here. So I don't know if that makes sense to you guys, but yeah, I mean, the Ichimoku cloud is a good indicator. It's a great indicator to get started. But obviously, once you get good at trading, you're going to have to, level up to something better. And that's why I use the trend meter instead of the Ichimoku cloud now. But it's a good indicator. So if you scroll anywhere, you can see price. If it crosses above it, it works pretty nicely. But the only problem is you get caught in fake outs, like right here. So price broke below, someone would think that it's coming down, but it really isn't. It just rejected off here and then came back up. Again, right here, you would have thought it'd keep coming down, and then it shot back up. But it's a good indicator to start with. And there's a lot of strategies to apply Ichimoku with, which are also very good. They're not super accurate, but they're very good. And it teaches you, discipline as to like following rules if you're not used to it. Okay, let me keep going down real quick. I think we had one question, not question from CT, but he had a comment. So CT said, is there a way in the future to weigh the K2 V2 as in times it's broken? Yeah, actually, CT, I was looking into that. So, there's probably going to be a version 3 coming out. I don't know if it's going to come out anytime soon, because the problem with me upgrading my indicators is that PineScript is kind of, my indicators are kind of ahead of their time. The problem with coding them on PineScript is that a lot of the stuff on PineScript, which is the code that's used to develop these indicators on the chart. The problem with PineScript is that it's still kind of new. So you can't do that many functions on them. There's a handful of stuff we could do, like this right here. I couldn't even change these colors. Like, the red and green, normally we can change that color. So if I go to K2SR, we could change the colors of the SRs. So if I wanted blue, I could change it to blue. If I wanted purple, I could change it to purple. The problem with the V2 is that it's kind of ahead of its time, where I can't change that. You can see here on style. I tried to code it into the indicator, but they just don't allow it right now. And the reason for me not able to like upgrade this and adding more lines to the charts that are a little more accurate is because we can only have so many lines on the chart. So pretty much what I wanted is the lines to stay on the chart as it continues to move on. So if you look here and I replay it, you can see these lines start to disappear as new lines appear. Because I could only have about 16 lines on the chart at a time. I wanted the lines to stay on the chart so that I can see how strong they are. But you can see right here, these are going to start disappearing. You can see right there. See, they've already disappeared. As price continues to move, these will disappear, and these will continue to develop new support resistance. One way to make that better is you can change the data points. So if you go to the K2SR indicator, I only have it where it's set to 100 bars back, and that's because I trade intraday. If you're swing trading and you want to go pretty far back, you can change that to like 500 candles back, or 600 candles back. It's really up to you. It's personal preference. But as to what CQ is saying, if we're able to weigh how many times these zones have been tested, that's one thing that I'm currently working on right now. So I'm probably going to have it where if it's been tested, X amount of times more than once, instead of it, I'll probably have them at a certain color. So instead of having them red and green, I could probably, you know, like once they upgrade PineScript, I'll be able to change it where it'll be like purple or blue or orange or something like that, just to signify, you know, how many times, you know, the specific price point has been tested. But generally, you know, if this has been established, it's only been established because this specific price point has been tested at least 2 or 3 times, or anything above that. CTU said, yeah, it's organic.
Hey, Shawn, it's almost 6, bro.
Oh, it's almost 6. Yeah, guys, start. So I'm gonna take a break real quick. I mean, not take a break, but I'm gonna look at the charts. The 6-hour candle is about to close, so we might have some trades coming. Let me see if there's anything. Yeah, thanks, Aaron. Let me check it real quick. Nothing for there. Aaron, do you see anything?
I'm checking right now. I really don't see anything right now. Everything look like it's consolidating.
Yeah.
Yeah, this week wasn't the greatest, bro.
What were you saying?
I said this week wasn't too good.
Oh, I know. I'm glad next week is, there's not much news next week, so we should be good to trade next week. Let me turn on the indicator. Yeah, see, the market was crazy choppy this week. So the thing is, the problem with it being super choppy is that it created a bunch of zones on the chart. Like, and it makes it impossible for us to trade because we don't trade within these zones. Obviously, because we don't want to get caught in any reversals. So odd NZ, nothing there. We still have our odd USD trade. The problem with this is it created a zone right here. What do you think about? We hit TP1 though already, right, Aaron?
Yeah, I believe so. I think so.
So yeah, that's fine. So I think a lot of people here. J Davis. Is this same J? Is this James?
Yeah, that's James. Yeah.
Why did you change your name for? Oh man, James is funny. James, same time every week. Let's see. Okay, so I don't see anything here. I mean, we have an active trade right now, so I don't know if anyone's still in this trade. I hold my trades until they hit you know, full TP, so I still have it running, but I don't know if anyone else does. But there is a support zone right here, so it might be a bit of an issue depending on wherever price moves. K² CHF, nothing there. K² JPY, nothing there either. It's just rejecting off this this zone. CHF JPY. This is one of the trades we have active. I don't know why is it not showing up on the chart. Let me update this real quick. I like to know where you know, where our trades are, so I like to keep them on there. So let me just plot this real quick. So we entered this trade about right here. Man, why does my chart look like this? Aaron, does your chart look like this? Like it wasn't all stretched out earlier.
Bro, mine's been. Man, I thought my chart was tripping at first, bro.
Yeah, because I mean, it was looking fine when I was looking at stuff earlier, but for some reason it just got stretched out. Okay, but yeah, this is the trade that we have active from earlier. I shared this with the public too, so you guys have access to this trade. But it looks fine. It doesn't look like. It looks like it's rejecting off this resistance. So once it rejects off this resistance, you know, it should come on down. So let's give that some time. And then our TP1 is right here, right before it gets to the support. So as it reaches there, you know, we recommend people move their stop loss to a TP1. So if we do get down there, they'll guarantee some profits. I gotta turn off my alerts for US30. All right, our EA trade over here. Oh, man. Yeah, I don't know what happened to all my charts. Aaron, like it was weird. It looks like all my, literally everything that I that I put up earlier kind of got deleted. Like all of my stop losses and stuff.
That's weird.
I don't know. I was literally just on this earlier and it was looking fine. Okay, let me go to this real quick. It's for Monday. Monday at 10 on the 15th. So sell on the 15th. Right here. This is for about 47. Yeah, I tried to reset it, James. It's still on. It still looks. I mean, it isn't. It actually still looks the same. Yeah, I don't know why. It's weird. Okay, let me just keep going down the list real quick. See if there's anything here. Yeah, nothing for UCAD. CHF. I was thinking about taking this trade earlier, but it doesn't look like there's a. There wasn't really much space for us to take any trades because the zones are so close. So we do have a zone right here, so I'm just gonna avoid EG. I mean, all the pairs are looking kind of weird. Yeah, it's weird. You see this, Aaron? Like literally all my pairs, they just all of the stop loss. I mean, not stop loss, but all of the
I mean, it could be a connection, bro.
Might be. Let me just reset this. I don't want to keep drawing this. Can we load it up? You know, I might have been on the wrong chart. That's my bad. I was looking at the. I usually keep this just for US 30, and I ended up looking at everything else on it. All right, so let me go over here. I was on EJ, I think. So EJ. Fuck. Yeah, that was it, Aaron. I was just on the wrong chart. All right, cool. So EJ doesn't. We have an entry going right now. It's pretty deep in profit, about $64 for a small position. Nothing for EN. Yeah, that's weird. My chart looks perfectly fine now. We have this EU trade that's active from earlier. If you guys have access, well, I mean, you guys have access to it. I gave it to the free group. But you know what? I didn't set any alerts. Let me set these alerts real quick. So if you guys don't know how to set alerts on TradingView, this is pretty much the easy way to do it. I'm setting alerts for when price reaches certain areas. So when I set this alert, I just right click, I hit add alert, I put the price point for where I want to be alerted, and then I just set the message that I want when it reaches this point. So this is for the stop loss, there's the stop loss right there. And then now for just full TP. Full TP. So that's good. All my alerts are set for those two. GA might be good. Aaron, what do you think about this? I've been looking at this for a while, but I mean, the only problem.
It's still stuck inside the zone, bro. I wouldn't call it.
Yeah, it's not even a strong candle. Maybe if it was a strong bullish, bearish candle, it would be good, but it doesn't really look like it. Let me zoom out of this real quick.
And isn't there AUD news coming up?
Oh yeah, there's 30 minutes.
Yeah, I wouldn't even mess with the AUD pairs right now, or any new AUD pairs.
Yeah, you're right. Let's see. Yeah, there's a way. Yeah, all the pairs are hard to trade right now because there's a lot of zones from all the news that happened this week. You know, prices spiking all over the place, and then it just makes it impossible because you don't want to trade where the zones are, because you can see here prices at the zone. You can see here price was at the zone as well, and it shot up again right here, tested, shot right back up. So that's probably what's going to happen here. It's going to test right here and shoot back up. And I know a lot of people are going to ask, well, why don't you take a trade that shoots on up? Because that's just too risky. Like, I like to take, calculated risk. I only take trades that I know I'm almost positive I'm going to win. There's really like no need for you to take crazy risks when trading, because the whole point is for consistent long-term growth, not just get rich overnight. Because that's how you end up blowing your accounts. It's just, you guys don't want to get caught in that circle where you just keep going in circle. You blow an account, and then make a new deposit, but you didn't learn anything from the previous time. So yeah, over trading, I should stay away from that. GJ, nothing there. GN. This is something I lined up earlier this morning. I didn't take it, but looks like it's retracing up. It might come up to this resistance and then shoot down. I think that's why I didn't take it. I was waiting for it to come up first because I wasn't anticipating it to drop just yet. I didn't give that as a signal. I just gave that as a trade idea this morning. Let's see. CT said to check out EN. Oh yeah, EN would be good if we had a buy signal. So if we got a buy signal right here, well, it closed inside the zone, so I wouldn't even consider it. But if it did close with, if it did close above here, and it had a buy signal like how it did right here. So this is one example of me taking this trade. So right here we have a buy signal indicating momentum swing upwards, and then as price broke above the zone, I would have taken this buy right here, and then locked in nearly 100 pips. So I can see that buy signal right there. So that's probably what CT's mentioned. There is a buy signal right there, but the thing with the indicators is that they repaint. So you have to wait for the candle to close, and then if this closes, then CT's spot on with this entry, similar to what we saw over here. So if this does close with the buy signal, it's obviously going to close above this zone right here, and then it would be a good entry. But yeah, I would wait for full confirmation before I enter that. Let's see. Yeah, and that GA drop, but let's I'm just gonna mark it so we can look at it later. GA drop, QC, MGC, not good, GN. Yeah, there's nothing that's really good right now. This is our Nzd Jpy trade from earlier. It's looking good too in profit. Yeah, it looks like the overall profits right now are looking fine. We're up in profit. I only have 4 positions open on my small account. This is my small one. It's only 60 bucks because our EU and CJ is not looking so great. Spencer's in GA. Spencer, did you take this this entry right here? The reason why we didn't take it is because there's news at 6:30 for the Australian dollar. Usually Australian news affects the market pretty heavily. You'll probably see some spikes around that time. So depending on where your stop loss is, it's kind of dangerous to trade that right now. I would have just waited for the news to pass. So if I pull this up right here, yeah, this is what we looked at earlier. It's Australian news at 6:30. So in about 30 minutes, there's a retail sales news, and this is gonna have a high impact on their economy if the retail sales are down or if they're high. So I would yeah, Spencer, if you want to check the news, just click on go to forexfactory.com and then click on calendar, and then if you click on calendar, it'll have all the news right here. So you can see it's a medium news for the Australian dollar. And if it's red or orange, it's generally something that's medium to high impact. So if it's red, obviously it's high impact. If it's orange, then it's medium impact. So it's a little risky. I mean, also on TradingView, I'm not sure if you have this function turned on where you can see the news on here as well. So you can see retail sales. So we kind of saw that it was coming, which is why we sat out of it. But I think you should be fine. especially if your stop loss is pretty wide. I think you should be good because I don't expect it to really spike very much. Oh, nice. So Spencer said he's in profit already. You should be good then. I wouldn't worry. If price does drop a little bit, I would move your stop loss at least to like break even for when the news does happen. So if it, if it goes south for you, not south literally, but not in your direction, then at least you get stopped out in profit or at break even, and then you can just re-enter after the news because generally it'll probably correct after that. But yeah, let me keep going down the list real quick. Yeah, so this is the GCAD, I mean the UCAD that CT mentioned earlier. I've been talking to CT about this, I think, earlier today too. So I actually plotted this yesterday, and this was a valid entry for a buy. I forgot why we didn't take it. Aaron, do you know why we didn't take this? I think I mentioned this to you too.
I mean, it could have been Canadian news, or was there any news?
Yeah, so yesterday, last night there was there was news like all day. Not sure why we didn't take it, but I did plot it right here. And I sent this to CT earlier today too, and we talked about it. It looks good. So if you guys, if you guys have access to the K2 strategy and you guys spotted this, I'm sure some of you guys might have taken this trade. So if you guys did, I mean, it looks fine to me. It looks like it's going to keep pushing up. Probably going to test, this zone right here. And you can see over here, price has broken above the zone quite a bit, like 1, 2, 3, 4, about 4 or 5 times. So, and it all broke above the full TP. So, if you did take this trade, odds are you're probably gonna get full TP, which is cool. I just didn't call it now because it's way too late. So you can see if we entered right now, we'd be about 32 pips late, which, I mean, it's a little risky because you're gonna miss the whole move. And then if you try to take this from here, it's only about 30 pips from the resistance. So I like to have, a pretty nice cushion between where I'm entering and the resistance, just so that, if I have to move my stop loss and profit, I at least have some space for me to make that move. But it does look good so far. I mean, when we did look at the charts, there's nothing really available. All of our trades are looking pretty good right now. So if you guys are in premium, or I mean, even in public, I share this with the public group as well. So our NU is looking good. Nzd Jpy is looking good. We're all in profit. The EU is coming down right now. It's slightly above entry. EJ is in profit, about 70 bucks. Euro odd, I don't know. This one's been moving weird for the entire week. So we're just gonna leave that as is. It did hit TP1 though, so I think a lot of people already got out of this trade. I'm personally just holding it because I normally do. But if you got out, you should have got some profits. Our CHF JPY is coming down as well. So pretty much everything looks perfectly fine right now. Odd USD, also in profit. So literally there's only 2 trades that are slightly in the red, but overall your profit should be in the green because everything else is heavy in profit right now. But let me keep going over to the Q&As. So hey, Razik has a question here from 12 p.m. Is Razik still here? I'm not sure if he asked this today or this was like weeks ago. Well, let's go over it anyways. So Razik asked he asked at 12:07 p.m. How'd you even ask this question, Razik? We weren't even on at 12:07. Did you go on the webinar by yourself when no one was here?
Probably, talking to herself.
All right, so let me yeah, because it showed like that's why I didn't see it because it kept getting pushed down to the bottom. It looks like you sent this at 12:07 p.m. So yeah, looking at odd USD, I already plotted the zones on here. So the zones actually look good. There's another zone right here, but this is fine. I don't think this is gonna affect it because it's like if it gets down to this point, it might maybe reject off it. All right, I already have the arrow right here. It might reject off it, but at that point you would move stop loss and profit because I think it would spike past it a little bit, at least a little bit. But otherwise it looks fine. So if we just look at it from bird's eye view, let me zoom out. There's no other zones that are nearby, so let me just take off the SR. So if you just look at it from here, it's, you know, it's clearly in a downtrend. If we draw a trend line right there, you know, clearly in a downtrend right here. And then the trend meter is actually red too. So that gives you double confirmation, you know, manual trend's red, the trend meter is red as well. You know, it rejected off this resistance. So I think it looks perfectly fine. So I think it looks like a great trade. I'm even thinking about entering it late. Let me see. I do have some margin. How late would I be entering it? Let's see. Shit. No, I'm gonna enter it 30 pips late. So it's a little too too far off. But yeah, Razik, I'm not sure if you're still in the same trade from, you know, when I shared this on the 11th. That was like what, last Thursday? But it looks perfectly fine. I think it's definitely gonna come on down. So yeah, if you still have it, I would just hang tight. Or if you're not in it, I think a sell would be good. It obviously has a sell buy. So let me go on the. Well, you entered this morning. Cool. Did you enter on the 30-minute? So it looks like, yeah, there was a couple entries over here. Yeah, nice. So it looks like you took this entry right here, or one of these, and it looks like it's coming back to entry right now. You know, it's coming down right now, actually. I should just enter this. So let me see. Yeah, it's 150 pips though. So let's enter this. No, I'm just gonna let it be. That's fine. As you said, I need this profit, Shawn. Jpy robbed me this week. Man, you're telling me, bro. Man, I was shocked that the market moved like that this week. Like normally, like I was expecting a move, but not how it did this week. Like it literally reversed every single pair you could think of, and then it made JPY and USD move in the same direction, which never happened. So and that's how you can tell, you know, markets being manipulated. But you know, I'm glad we kind of stopped the bleeding on Tuesday, and then we're back in profit today. So I mean, that's a plus for the most part in my book, because we were able to eliminate our losses, you know, early on, instead of, you know, if we kept trading, it could have ended even worse. I know Monday was nasty. It was horrible. Let's see. So Jay's asking, can you explain how you know that it's going to go back up? Jay, which pair are you talking about? Aaron said Jay, don't start. I'm assuming James talking about US 30. So that's James' favorite thing to talk about, US 30. So let's see. So I don't know that it's going to come back up. You know, if you're in this trade, James, you should have moved your stop loss a long time ago, because it went up 1,000 pips and then went up again 1,700 pips. So if it goes up that much, I mean, it's an indicator to, you know, you should move your stop loss at least to break even, or something like that. And it's the same situation that we had last time. You know, I always advise everyone in K2 that, you know, if you're holding US 30 into after hours, you know, price move is really weird in after hours, and I don't even know what caused this drop. I'm assuming something happened in the news. So Chase said no US 30. Which pair are you talking about, Jay? So I can pull it up. But yeah, if I measure this from up here, literally like in less than an hour, it dropped over 2,000 pips. It's crazy. I mean, something obviously caused this, because this isn't a normal move. You know, price doesn't just decide to drop 2,000 pips for no apparent reason. Let me see if we can find anything about it. Let me pull up the news right here. So 30 minutes ago, it corrected. Palm Giant. I don't know if this affected the market. Correct state of demand. Food will rise by 70% on palm oil food. Yeah, I don't know if this affected the market. Palm oil research. I don't know. That was about 30 minutes ago. So this might be it right here. Rio Tinto launches internal review after Sacred Caves blast. I don't think this affected US 30 either. I mean, there's something going on in the world because it's not just US 30 that's dropping. There's a lot of, like, all the indices are dropping right now. So I hope you guys got out of this trade. You know, if once it reached up here, or once it reached TP1, you should have at least moved your stop loss to a TP1, which is 1,000 pips. But if we look at every indice right now, literally, well, I mean, they're not dropping as hard, which is unusual. I don't know why US 30 is dropping so hard. CT said dollar rising. Wasn't there a private meeting with Pompeo, China? There probably was. But if the dollar is rising, wouldn't US 30 be going up? I don't know. Let's see. So US 30 is dropping. Let's see what else is here. I mean, the Aussie dropped a little bit. It didn't really drop that much. The Spain index isn't dropping. Well, it's dropping a little bit, but it's not like the US 30. France index is going up, actually. It's going the opposite direction. The DAX dropped as well. So the DAX is moving the same direction as US 30. The Nzd index right here, Japan index, it dropped as well. So basically all the big indexes are dropping. So the German DAX, the Japanese index, the NASDAQ, S&P dropping, US 30 obviously dropping, UK index is dropping as well. Honestly, I don't know what's causing this aside from CT's message about the dollar rising. I guess that could be it, but I don't know if would that cause all of the indices to drop though, like the UK, and I know. I don't think NASDAQ would be dropping though. Let's see. TXY. I mean, it looks pretty flat. It doesn't look like it's dropping that heavy. Let me put it on the US 30. Yeah, same with US 30. It looks pretty flat. I mean, it looks like it's dropping, but it doesn't look like it's dropping enough to cause this. This is a huge drop. Let's see, 4 hour. It's actually going up, but it's not going up that much either. It's I mean, yeah, it is going up. It's just David said Democrats unveil a 1.5 trillion infrastructure plan. That could have affected it from Reuters. So yeah, that might have affected it. I'm not sure. I mean, the thing with US 30 and like all indices is that there's a lot of different factors that could be, taking place. I don't know. Looking at the dollar index, it's moving up a little bit, but I don't think it's. Let's see, it's moved up probably, a few percentage points. So from this candle, it's moved up like 3%. I mean, I don't know. Who knows? If you guys are in it, hopefully it comes back up. But next time, if you guys are still in this trade, if price goes into profit this much, you guys have to remember to move your stop loss. Of course, you're not going to make as much money, but I always recommend taking some profit than taking a full loss, because you never really know what's going to happen at this point. It looks like it's pushing back up. I think if you guys are still in this trade, at least if it pushes up, then move your stop loss and profit, and you can trail it. So as it continues to move up, so say if you move your stop loss to break even, just slide it up with your trade. So as it moves up, if it pulls back, you'll get stopped out in profit. But if it continues up, you could still hit full profit. It's better than having a loss. I mean, that's just the way I perceive it. Jay said, not US 30. I can't remember the pair. Aaron, can you see the Q&A?
I can see. Hold on 1 second. He acting up again?
What'd you say?
I said, is he acting up?
No, because I was asking Jay if he wanted me to look at US 30. And he said no, but then he said he couldn't remember the pair.
Wow.
And then he didn't remember it, so he wants us to look over
CJ.
JPY. So let me pull that up real quick, guys. So yeah, that's US30 for now. I'm on the big chart, right? So yeah, I'll just leave US30 alone. And then let's pull up CHF JPY. Wait, Jay, why'd you want CHF JPY to go up? We're in it for a sell. Did Jay take the wrong trade again? It looks like it's coming down, Jay. So you can see right here that there's a rejection off this resistance right here. So I anticipate it to come down. You can see the rejection right here. So if we get a strong bearish candle, so if this strong closes as a strong red candle, then I anticipate it to come down. And then TP1's right here. So once you reach TP1, you can move your stop loss, TP1 to guarantee those profits. Jay said, "Oh my God, I'm in for a sell too." Yeah, Jay, I think we all are. So it should be good. I think it'll come down a little bit. I would just give it some time. I mean, it is during Asia right now, and you'd expect it to move a little more. But since it's paired with the CHF, it's just going to move slow. It's a slower pair compared to the other JPY pairs. But overall, I think it should be fine.
Hey, Shawn.
Yeah, what's up here?
I don't see any news for AUD today.
The news is there's retail news right now. It's in about 10 minutes.
Is it high impact?
No, it's medium.
Okay.
So it should be all right. Hopefully, I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, let me pull up the chat real quick. So if you guys have any other questions, feel free to put them in the Q&A. Otherwise, I mean, we're all out of questions for today. I'll probably hang around for a little bit longer. We've been on this call for about an hour and 40 minutes. So I'll hang around, see if you guys have any other questions. But otherwise, I'm just gonna keep looking at the the chart if I see anything. John said, "Bro, that signal is working through." I know. Honestly, I kind of hate that I didn't re-enter down here, because me and David were looking at it, and David was like, re-enter, and I was like, no, it doesn't look good. But then as soon as I said that, bro, it shot up from right here when we were talking. It was like 1 o'clock, so I talked to him around 1 o'clock, and it shot up literally like 1,700 pips. I was like, man, I should have just took the damn trade. Jay said, I'll watch the replay and tell you what pair, bro. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, Jay. So yeah, if you figure out what pair you wanted me to look at, just feel free to let me know, and then I can pull it up for you. Or even after after the Zoom call, I can still give you a analysis on a screenshot of TradingView. Let's see. Spencer wants us to take a look at gold. So let me take a look at gold real quick. On the higher time frame. I think I talked to gold about someone. I talked about it with someone else earlier too. Craig said on FTMO, I'm trading WS30. Can't find tradable US30. Did I miss it? Yeah, so FTMO doesn't have US30. Well, what you're going to trade is WS30 .m, because you can only trade the E mini. So it's going to look like, let me see if I can pull up someone's profits from earlier today. So let's just look at the profits real quick. Oh, look at Jay over here, man. Jay's balling out. Made 1,200 today, trading US30 with us. And he took this little L right here. Come on, Jay, what happened? It was a buy too. Aaron, did you see this?
Yep, you showed me already.
Yeah, I was like, man, how'd you take a loss on that? Because these are all, if you held on to this a little longer, it would have been profit with all of these. You would have had, instead of 1,200, you'd have 1,500 profit today. Jay again earlier. Yeah, Jay killed it today. So yeah, let me see if I can find an LMAX. Okay, so Craig, for LMAX, this is what the asset's going to look like. It's going to be WS30.LMAX_M, because you can only trade the mini, or we're not able to trade the the full the full lot because it's just way too much risk. So it's understandable why they don't make that available, because they don't want people to blow their account that quick. Yeah, everyone did pretty good today with US 30. So this is what I mentioned earlier. A lot of people got out at TP1 or as we moved up. So if you guys did, what I recommend to move your stop loss, everyone made a killing on US 30. Jay made 1,200. Who else is here? Taryn made, $50. Kenton made about $300. Like literally everybody. Patricia here made a killing too. Almost 1,500 off US 30. What else? Kyle killed it too. Look at Kyle. He made 150 off US, not just US 30, but he made it off US 30, S&P, or it looks like he took an L on S&P, but he did make it off US 30 and NASDAQ. The thing with the K2 indicators, they work on all assets. So if you don't have to trade US 30, you can trade pretty much everything. David over here came about 200 nearly. These are my accounts right here. This is my 100K account on FTMO. Made about 1,600 on that. My 50K account, 900 on that. And then my personal account. Oh, it's not mine. This was JFX. But he made 1,400 on that. So I trade multiple account, guys. So if you guys are having trouble trading on one account, I trade on 3 accounts. So it shouldn't be too big of a problem. Like right here, $76, $900, and then $1,700 right there. But yeah, pretty much overall, everyone did pretty good today. But there's a bunch of other people that are still in it. Craig said I was up over 500 today on nice. So were you trading? How many lots were you trading, Craig? If you don't mind me asking. You must have been trading like maybe 10 lots, or between 10 and 15 seems like. 10. Only 3? Wow, that's crazy. So you must have caught the whole move then. Yeah, or not the whole move, but you caught most of the move, because I got out around 1,000 pips. Nice. That was smart by you. Yeah, for me, I was kind of I was freaking out earlier because this thing was just freaking me out because it was moving so fast. So I got out literally like around here somewhere. So as it pushed up, I just got out like right here. All right. But yeah, if you held on to up here, then you can make a killing off that. Craig said had to watch top and manual exit. Yeah, if you have the patience, that you can make a ton just doing that too. Me personally, I just didn't want to. I don't want to keep watching it, so I got off that. Let's see. So yeah, I'm going back to Spencer's question for gold. So I'll pull up gold real quick. Here is CT's analysis too. So this is what we were actually talking about this earlier in the chat. The setup that I drew was also for sell because I started rejecting off this. See, so CT he spotted this earlier. He spotted it from. Actually, let me just pull it up. Probably be easier. I might still have it marked up from earlier. Let's see.
Right, Mom. Oh.
Actually, yeah, our markup is kind of similar. I think what I had was, I think it was I don't know if it was yesterday. It was somewhere around here, but someone was asking about it. I think it was this candle right here. Someone was asking if it was coming down, and then I told them that it was rejecting off this resistance, and it's probably going to come down from there. Looking at CT's chart over here, it's pretty much he actually caught it earlier, so he identified it from, I think, somewhere around this area. So he identified it over here, and then I confirmed that it was coming down from here after we got this rejection, and then we got a sell signal. So I'm not sure if, Spencer, did you take this on the 4-hour? I'm not sure what strategy you're applying, because every time I talk to you, I think you're applying a 30-minute, which is fine. I can look at it on the 30-minute if you want, but I just want to analyze it on the time frame that you did. Who's looking on the hour? Okay, cool. So I'll go to the hour chart. Yeah, so I don't see an entry here for the intraday strategy. I'm not sure which one you took. It doesn't look like there was any entries here since, yeah, there wasn't anything since the 11th. So not since last Thursday, there was no intraday entry. Okay, yeah, because we were talking earlier about gold. And you were talking about if the requirements had to be met. So yeah, there's no requirements met, so there's no entry. But I do see a sell coming. So I'm looking on the 4 hour. Personally, I don't like looking on the 1 hour. I still think there's a lot of noise on the 1 hour. You can see all the wicks. There's a lot of wicks, and it just doesn't move smoothly. If you look on the 4 hour, it looks a lot better. You can see where price rejects from, and it's like strong rejection. So price came up, rejected from here, rejected from here, rejected from here, rejected from here, and then it's just been in consolidation since then. Yeah, Spencer, I think you'd be better off. I think I mentioned this too in our chat earlier. Anything, if you're trading gold, it's better on the higher time frames because this moves around a lot. So you can see there's still a lot of wicks on the 4 hour, but if you look on the shorter ones, like 30-minute, it's literally wicked on every single move. And there's a ton of noise on the chart if you're trading on a 30-minute. So personally, I think the 4 hour would be best. I'm not sure if CT wants to chime in. I don't know what he uses, but I think the 4 hour works best in my perspective. I don't know. Every time CT shows me a chart, he usually goes on the 4 hour too, I think. Yeah, so daily and 4 hours. So CT also goes on even the higher time frame, the higher on the daily, which I agree with too. You can see here, yeah. Turn on the SRs, and I hide the zones. Yeah, on the daily, you can see it has perfect rejections. You can see exactly where price is rejected from. You can make, I'm thinking about trading this now on the daily. So it looks like it rejected off here, came down, rejected again, rejected down here. And then it looks like it didn't make it all the way up here, but it's on a little short-term downtrend. Right there on the daily. But looking on the 4 hour, it looks pretty much the same. So right now, I would wait for this to, so if this candle closes in this zone or above it, I would wait for it to close below before taking an entry. Because, I mean, it's kind of hard to tell. Yeah. Like personally, I would look at it as a sell, but the thing is, it's like in a consolidation phase right now. So let me, I'll just try a different box. So it just looks like gold is consolidating right now. It probably has a lot to do with the news that happened this week because, there's no direction that's really set. Kind of similar with UJ and the US dollar. You can see, if we, I don't want to delete the boxes. Actually, screw it, I'll just delete them. So if I delete those boxes, you can see here that price is just, it looks like it's consolidating. So pretty much I wouldn't take a trade until price was to break below or above. So if I go back and draw the zones right here, even if it did break above, there's not much cushion here because it's going to reach this zone right here. And if it rejects off this zone and shoots down, that'll confirm a triple top. So it's one test right here, one test right here, another test right here possibly. So this would probably be like a quadruple top if it comes up here and then rejects off it. And then, that would confirm our sell analysis. But personally, I don't think there's really an entry until it breaks below this zoned area, or it gives, some sort of confirmation that price is going to be coming down. I mean, this is one reason I don't really like trading gold because I feel like I get caught in this a lot of times when I'm analyzing it. CT said it's undecided right now, like dollar indexes. This is all in a do or die area, probably die. Yeah, no, I agree with CT's analysis. I mean, it kind of goes hand in hand with what I just mentioned. Literally, it's consolidating. There's no direction that's been set, similar to the dollar and the yen. So I would stay away from gold if you guys are thinking about trading gold right now, at least until there's some type of confirmation indicating the direction or price, because it could literally go either way. It could literally go, it could break above here and go up, or it could come back down and break below and continue downwards. But yeah, it's something that I wouldn't want to take. Like I mentioned earlier, I like to take calculated risks. So, if I'm not positive that trade's going to move in that direction, then, more likely than not, I'm probably going to avoid it. Plus, the spread's super high right now. It's 99 pips. So, yeah, I would probably stay away from it, Spencer. But if you do analyze it, I would analyze it first on the 4-hour or even the daily if you want, and then you can move on like a top-down basis. So once you've drawn the zones on the 4-hour, you can go to the shorter time frames. If you draw everything on the 4-hour and it looks like a sell, you can go on the 30-minute, and then you can take your entry off here, or the 1-hour, like you said earlier. You're on the 1-hour, so it just really depends. But personally, right now, I would just stay away from gold. It just doesn't look nice at all. All right, let's check out the positions real quick. Still looking fine. All right, cool. So let me keep going down. Let's see, CT said I see 1710 and also liquidity retraction around 1750. Oh yeah, I agree. So it's the same area that I was saying. So if it does reach this area where CT was mentioning, liquidity, there's clear liquidity here. You can see price rejected off there. Nice wick. Again, right here, nice wick, nice wick. So again, right here, it looks like there's a zone right here where price came up, another grab, and then it shot down. So if it does come up here and we see another nice wick, I can see it drop heavily. But yeah, for now, I'll just hang tight. Let's see. Anonymous attendees asking, did you go over the GN signal? I don't think we had a GN signal. Oh, unless you're talking about the one this morning. I didn't give a signal out, but I gave an idea out. I just said that there was an entry. But I did analyze a little earlier, but we can go over it again. So it looks like, so the reason why I gave this idea, actually pull up maybe it's from the price action. I'm not sure if you guys, not sure if you guys are talking about price action, because I don't run the price action. So no, it doesn't look like Ines called it. Yeah, we'll just take a look anyways. So in premium earlier this morning, I just gave this trade idea. It wasn't an official signal because I didn't think it was a high probability trade. Plus there was news this morning, but just looking at it right here, you can see it's clearly in a very strong downtrend. And then price broke below right here. And the reason why I called it was I was applying the K2 zone strategy. So pretty much what happened here is we identified the direction of momentum. And right here we have a sell signal. So once we get a sell signal, this indicates that price is going to be going down for X amount of time. So as you can see right here, after the signal, price came down a bit, and then it rejected off this support area and came up, rejected off this resistance, and then it broke down. So now that we have the direction of price, next we just want to make sure that price breaks a zoned area. So it broke this K2 zoned area right here and closed below. So this provides for a valid K2 SR zone strategy entry. And that's why I gave this entry right here. Looks like price rejected up a little bit. And then it shot up to, it hasn't tested it yet, but it looks like it's about to, test this resistance and then make its way down. So, I mean, this is pretty much what I see happening with GN right now. It's clearly in a heavy downtrend. So if you look at the trend meter, it's super red. And you can see it's been trending down for a long time. It's been trending down since April 20th. That's what, it's like 2 months now. Yeah, it's nearly 2 months. So for 2 months, it's been trending down. And the problem with that too is that it's been trending down for so long that it's about due for a reversal, right? But just following the rules that we use, this just provides for a valid sell entry. So that's pretty much why I identified this trade and why I think it's going to keep coming down. I wouldn't expect it to shoot on up until it reaches, you know, somewhere above here and then it establishes a higher high. But, you know, currently it's just been establishing lower lows. So here was a lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. This wasn't a lower low, but it just consolidated a little bit and then it broke below. So if you are in this trade, I do think it's going to keep coming down. I think it's going to be completely fine. So, you know, similar with all the other trades, I would just hang tight and just wait for it to do what it's supposed to do. Jay said you got his answer. All right, perfect. But yeah, guys, it looks like that's all of the Q&As that I have, you know, currently. Let's see if there's anything else. CT said it was a good short off that zone just now. So let me go back to gold real quick. So if I go back to gold, oh, GN. Oh yeah, no, it does look like a good short, like especially with this top wick right here. Like it didn't test the zone, but it's a pretty nice wick, especially if it closes as a strong bearish candle. I think it definitely should be, you know, continuing downwards. Yeah, I mean the closest zone would be right here. Probably even make it smaller. Yeah, that's good. Spencer, I called this earlier this morning. It wasn't so this entry came up at 6 a.m. this morning. I didn't call it as an official call because there was news this morning, so that's why I didn't call it. But if you do want to enter it for a late entry, you could just put a buy stop, a sell stop right here at the original entry, and you can take it. The only problem with taking this trade is that, like I mentioned earlier, it's been trending down since April 20th. So for 2 months, it's been trending down, and you know generally when it trends down for that long, it's going to have to reverse at some point. And you know that's something you don't want to get caught in, because it might reverse all the way up to, you know, at least this area above the resistance before it comes back down. So personally, I would just I would sit out of this. I wouldn't take it. But if I do change my mind, I'll post it in the I'll post it in the premium. But it just looks like a very risky trade. Also because, you know, it's tested the zone like so many times. And it just might be a fake out. So yeah, I think that's about it, guys. I don't have any other questions. If you guys have any other questions, I mean, feel free to put them in the Q&A before I get off. We've been on for about 2 hours now, so I'll have this video uploaded to YouTube shortly. Otherwise, yeah, if you guys want to reach me, I'll be available on the Telegram. So if you guys have any questions, you know, feel free to let me know, and then, you know, we can discuss. Otherwise, guys, it was a good trading room, and you know, it's a training webinar for you guys. So if you guys are new here, just know that we have this every Tuesday and Thursday at 5 p.m. Pacific Daylight Savings Time. And if you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out, and then you know, I can help you with whatever you need help with. Otherwise, guys, I'll see you guys in the chat, and I'll have this video up on YouTube shortly. All right, guys, talk to you guys later.